Hello, hello, hello. Hey, hey, hey. Today we have a very different kind of stream, and we're going to just roll with it and get right into it because I think this is going to take some time. But this is my first 24-hour readathon. So, starting at 10 a.m. Mountain Time here on Saturday until Sunday, 10 a.m., I'm going to read as much as I possibly can. So, yes, I will be sleeping. I know that's a very, very common question, but I will be reading as much as possible. And I want to set the scene. So, we are joining this live before 10 a.m. because I want to get things prepped. I want things to be perfect for this readathon because go big or go home, but also go big at home, right? And so I'm thinking for this readathon, we don't want it to just be cozy and be in our regular old PJs. I went for a comfy dress for my 75 hard style challenge, and I'm going to build a freaking blanket for it. So if you're wondering why this giant construction ladder is in the middle of my library, which sometimes it's here, off to the side, but I've made it even taller today. For context, I'm 5'5", but this is the plan. This is going to be our middle of the tent here. So we're making a giant blanket for it. We're going to hang some sheets and blankets off to the sides. And I'm thinking that I'll tuck them under the books so that we don't have to use too much supplies, but also books are heavy. So I think that will work out really well. And then I have a giant little area to lay down here in the middle. And I'm going to pull over the twin size mattress from our guest bedroom and put that on the floor here. So that's the plan. We've got an hour for setup and to go through our TBR. So come hang out. You can start reading if you're ambitious and you want to start early, but that's what we're going to start with. We're going to start with the blanket for it. All right. And this is all just very girl math. Roll with me here. I am not the engineer in this household. That would be Omar. And hopefully we get the blankets and sheets to stay up the way that we want them. But we're doing our best, all right? All right, so let's get into it. All right. All right. Kicking off the readathon. All right, I think first things first, ditch the jacket. And I've got a couple of fitted sheets. I think we'll start there, since they can kind of hook around the ladder. I'm thinking a little something like that could work. And now we've got the addition of the fancy little cute GoPro here. which means after the readathon, you're going to get a YouTube episode that is all about everything I read and everything we did during the readathon. So not only will we get to hang out during these 2 live streams, you'll also get the wrap-up episode. All right, let's do the other fitted sheet next. And then we'll play around with the non-fitted sheets to see what we can do. This one is, I think, a little bit bigger. Let's see. Tuck it under some books back here. That part's easier to do from the floor. I don't know, if we're going for progress, not perfection. Hello, hello, Kim. Thanks for hanging out. Welcome to the readathon. All right, let's get a time lapse going. Now this will be the interesting part of how to make sure that it stays at the top of this ladder here. So the goal is to be able to lay down on the floor, but just have the sheets kind of all around. So far, so good. think at night is when it's going to look really cool because I have some fun ideas for that. All right. That is sort of it for the sheets that I have. But I was thinking with some of these little throw blankets, we can add to the drama. And kind of do something along the sides here. Maybe kind of like that. This was a little heavy for that. We're going to come back to that part. I wish I had some pins. That would work out nicely. All right. So this is a twin mattress. So I think that this will fit quite nicely under here. And I have, the one thing we do have in this house is pillows. So we should be pretty good on pillows later. Okay. Looking good. This always makes me think about the movie The Holiday, when the kids have a blanket for it and she comes to their house. It's so cute. I also have a giant cushion from my Papasan chair, and I'm thinking I can use this as kind of like the headboard in the back, so that when I'm reading back here, I can sit up against the books and have a little bit more of like a comfy spot to sit up on, so I don't only have to lay down. There, that looks cool. Also, this blanket had to come from downstairs. This is one of the coolest blankets I own. Check this out. And then it's fuzzy on the inside, but that's not even the best part. This is a wearable blanket, and it even has like a little button, so you can put it on right here like a cloak. All right, let's get some pillows. I'm thinking also some pillows on the sides, so I'm not clunking into the ladder at all. This one is better for that. kind of trying to make it so it has like armrests. So I'm really tucked in here. For many, many years, I used to nanny, and I have built plenty of blanket forts, but I've never built one for myself. So this is actually very cathartic. So many pillows. Also, I have this really cool, like Afghan blanket. I've thought about hanging it up. Maybe I will one day. But check this out. Beatles, Abbey Road. Cute, right? So I don't know if I'll use it because I try to keep it kind of nice. But we've got it if we need it. This one's got eggs on it, very on brand. These pillows are the softest, so these were the ones I was saving to put behind my head here. Okay. Had my records tucked in the corner up here, but I was thinking about putting my record player on the floor right here, and so I'm actually going to need these to be accessible because we're all about setting the vibes here. Speaking of which, I'm also going to need to pull out my annotation supplies because I am going to be annotating one of the books at least that I read during this time. And at some point, we're going to have to light a candle for the vibes too, but not in the tent. Safety first. Okay, let's see. Let me see. I think I can grab some books for some weight. That should work. All right, just some extra added vibes. Hello, hello, my friend. Welcome in. Building a blanket fort. And once we're done with the blanket fort, then we will go over what the TBR is going to be for the readathon. Okay. All right, now I am plugging in my outlet converter because I don't have an outlet like in the library. So I'm planning ahead this time because, like I said, we're going to want our chargers. We're going to want all sorts of good stuff. Right, where are my scissors? All right, I think that this is what's going to take it to the next level here. But I grabbed my string lights because we haven't put them up outside yet because we don't have a plan for them quite yet. Where is the outlet portion? Okay, plug in. They work. We'll come back to fix that later. We will plug that back in at the end. And that one too we'll fix after the lights. think I can go back one more time and then from there, shoes have to come off. Might move that a little closer. All right. Now we've got sunlight. We can do more later if need be. But it's super sunny out right now. So I think during our other stream, as it gets dark, we'll work on setting the rest of the vibes with the candles and all of that good stuff. Perfect. And by perfect, we mean good enough. All right. So now let's work on setting the rest of the cozy vibes down here. So my record player is right here, ready to go. Thinking we'll just set it here. So we need to be able to reach the outlet. If that will even reach the outlet. And we've got more pillows still, so why not? More is more. We've also got another big blanket that we can use as the last layer here. It's super soft. I think I'm going to need to end up putting my fan in here too. We've got the snacks ready. We'll put this one off to the side for later. The last pillows. we actually need to get my reading bean pillow. This is my most important pillow of all. I use this every single time I read. It's from Bookbow. It's called the Reading Bean. So you can like most people sit like this and read like this, but I use it like every which way for every position that I read in. And so if I ever start reading and I realize like I forgot it, I'm like, no, and I have to go find it. I'm obsessed. Okay. What else can we do to settle in the cozy vibes? And then we'll get into the TBR. Hi, Sammy. How are you? So the blanket for now is, it is what it is. It's not that serious, right? So I keep having to remind myself as your resident perfectionist that perfect is like the enemy of done. We just need to roll with it. This is what we have for now. I think later tonight, we might end up adding more of the string lights once we see what it's like during the darkness. But for right now, I think it's perfect. So for our last part here, on the floor, I have my record player. I have some like classical records downstairs. I don't usually like listen to anything with words as I read. So I was thinking on the floor down here, I would put my record player and my Bluetooth speaker because I like to have background noise when I'm reading. So that's the plan for the floor here. Now I have most of the books on my upcoming TBR on this little library cart because I'm planning for the Tucson Festival of Books. So I think we'll pick my TBR based off of this, and then I'll tuck it in that back corner so that I can easily reach it back there. But then I can also use the back side of it to like hold my water, my coffee, and my snacks or my tea throughout the day. Because, you know, kind of need something like that. And having to reach like around the blankets is not going to be fun. Which reminds me, secret spot for the Kindle. But we've got a pretty good handle on the TBR already. I'm also going to put back here, I have more, so I'll have to grab them. But in here I've got like all of my highlighters and those types of markers. And then, one second. In this one, I've got all of the like pens and Sharpies. And this is the one that has the little pattern from LitJoy, the like classics pattern. Isn't that cute? So we've got that one. So we just need my annotation supplies. That's all we're missing. Because one of my friends, her favorite book is Beartown. And we did this like sisterhood of the traveling book series with each other where we each picked out our favorite book. And then we get to annotate them for each other. And we each picked a different color pen. Mine is red, which is kind of intense. But I was looking for these cute little guys because the cover is blue. And I'm going to match the stickers to the cover because she told me that I could add my own. So I'm going to kind of build my own. So that should be all of the supplies that we need. Just prepping as much as possible because I really do want to read as much as I possibly can during this readathon. I've never done one of these, so I think it'll be interesting to see. I am a super fast reader, so I think I can get a lot done. I have made some pretty good progress on reading already this year. I think I'm on my 5th or 6th book for January already, which is really great for me. But like I said, I need to prepare for this book festival. I am going to be a moderator for one of the panels, so I've got 3 books to read for that one. Some of these books on here I've already read because they were from our book club, so I'm all set there. But I do also need to catch up for my book club meeting, which is next weekend. And it's free and it's virtual if you want to come hang out with us. But I have not read either our December or our January book club picks yet, because we do hybrid meetings in January. So we split our meeting into 2. And so our December book was What You Are Looking For Is in the Library by Michiko Aoyama. That's this one. How cute is this book? So this is December, and I think that I might end up starting with this one because it's short and sweet. And I like to start challenges with something that gives me momentum. And then this book is a double whammy. And what I mean by that is it's our book club pick for January for the Moody Readers book club, but it's also an author going to the Tucson Festival of Books, which is why we picked it. And this is Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas. So I'm super excited. Those are definitely books that are on the priority TBR. So that's these 2 for my book club, and then Beartown to annotate. I think this will be as I settle in a little bit more, because I hear, you can let me know, but I hear this one's a little bit heavier. So we'll have to see if that's true. But I think that, I'm going to need some momentum already with this one. You can see some of the annotations in here already from the friends who had it before me. And plus, I'm very extra when I annotate for friends. I like to add like little doodles and things like that. So I'm excited. All right. So later today, I'm also going to do another stream at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And so that stream is going to be more formal sprints. And I'll check in at the beginning of that to tell you guys the progress update of how it's been going. But I don't know. I really am trying to guess how many books I think I'll read, how many pages I'll read. That's one thing I do want to keep track of. Speaking of, so I put my little journal here so I could write down pages read. So during the readathon, 24-hour readathon, I'm going to keep track of books read and pages read. And I'm going to try keep track of like time. And what I mean is not just like the 24 hours, but from X time to X time, I read this much. So I can get like, maybe that's going to be hard for me. I know that. But I'll see if by the end I can say out of that 24 hours, I was reading like this amount of time would be the goal. And I know I'll definitely be doing some audiobooks at some point. So when I want to like go eat lunch and make dinner and go for a walk, I'll be listening to an audiobook. I have quite a bit of my current audiobook left. So I'll mark my percentage and not count the beginning percentage. And I'll start from there. But I'm currently listening through the Dirty Air series by Lauren Asher. That is the very spicy romance series that she writes that's based around F1 racers. So it's like F1 characters. And my friend Joanna and I are buddy reading the series and like texting each other as we listen. So I don't really want to start a new audiobook. But once I finish that book, I'm diving into the Finley Donovan series on audio. I listened to the first one a long time ago on audio, and I thought it was really good and really fun. So I want to revisit the rest of the series, but I want to re-listen to the first book before I listen to the rest. So that's my audiobook TBR that I've got planned. But I think we're almost ready. I hope you guys are building some blanket forts and getting cozy as well. This will be very fun. Let me know what you're going to be reading for the readathon in the comments. I would love to know. All right, and we have our behind the scenes with the GoPro. We're going to take some pics of the blanket fort now that it's cozy, ready to go. We should do a final check before we actually start to make sure that I like how everything is feeling in there. Okay. Maybe we'll have some adjustments to make too. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. I feel like a little kid. I feel like a princess. Okay, now that I'm actually in here, I do think we'll want more string lights later. But like I said, we're not turning them on right now because it's too hot. But it's super cozy. I am like cocooned in these pillows. It's perfect. This is the perfect size. The bed's super comfy. It's also very peaceful in here because it's very muffled. So I think that having over there on the wall that I'm facing, so where you are, I'll keep my laptop on with like a little ambience room on YouTube playing in the background as I read, or I'll have my records playing, or I'll have my Bluetooth speaker. But this is really perfect. And honestly, it didn't take us that long to put it together. I thought it was going to take me a lot longer. I mean, obviously it could be better, but it feels cool in person, and that's all that matters. Plus, this was the first attempt, so like it doesn't need to be perfect by any means. If Omar would have been awake, he's still asleep. He is really good with stuff like this, so I think that maybe later I can get him to help me like tweak it a little bit more. But I'm pretty proud with how this turned out. This is really cool, and it does inspire me to read, which I think is the most important part, because I feel like a huge part of like a 24-hour readathon is obviously reading as much as possible. I've never done this. I feel like I'm easily distracted. I'm so used to being like in my scroll girl era where like I pick up my phone all day, every day. So I think this will be really nice to just like refocus on reading and just try some new things. I don't know. This is so cool. I'm so happy. Okay, so now that we have the 2 book club picks picked out and we have Beartown, I do really think I'll get more through more than 3 books. So we can keep looking at the TBR to see what else maybe you guys recommend that I read, because I'd be very curious to see. Let's see. Kim is hoping to finish The Year of the Locust by Terry Hayes the next 7-8 hours before bed. That's awesome. I hope you finish it as well. Let's see. So later on for my book club, we are reading Mother-Daughter Murder Night, and that's one of the authors from my panel. So I know that one I'll save for a little bit later. And in a couple weeks, I'm going to LA for like an author-hosted brunch event. I don't know who all they invited, but I know that there's going to be some other booktubers there. So I'm really excited about that. And so I need to read this book in the next couple of weeks, which is Nowhere Like Home by Sarah Shepard. This is like a thriller. I don't know too much about it. This is actually just like an art copy, so there's no synopsis on the back. But I'm pretty excited for this one because she's the author of the Pretty Little Liars series. So that is definitely an option. We'll see, because I'm such a mood reader. you know, like I don't know if I'm gonna want to read thrillers or what. Like so far for these genres, like this is kind of like a creepy historical vampire story. Um, I'm not quite sure what this one is about, but it's like what you're looking for is in the library. So I think it's literary fiction ish. We've got that. We've got Beartown, which I think is also, I think it's like a story about family. I'm not exactly sure. It's okay. We'll figure it out. And then this is the Reese's Book Club pick for this month, First July Wins. So this is another one that I really want to read right now. She's also coming to the book festival, so I think it would be fun to start this one. But we've got all sorts of options here on this shelf so far. I have read Stephen Rowley's. Okay, so there's Byron Lane's book, A Star is Born. I have read that with our book club. Out of Stephen Rowley's books I have here, I've read all of them except for Lily and the Octopus. I've never read of any of Roshani's books yet. I haven't read Gilded. I haven't read We Hunt the Flame. So we've got some fantasy options if I decide that I need the fantasy mood. We've got Tia Williams' next book, A Love Song for Ricky Wilde, which comes out in February. So that would be a good choice if I need some romance, because I've read 7 Days in June, which is down here. And my book club's gonna read this next month. So I might reread it, but I also read it not that long ago. So if I don't end up revisiting it before book club, that's totally fine. These are also some book club picks I've read. I've already read A Woman Is No Man, but we read this like 4 years ago. So that would be a good one to revisit. Jackal, we just read for Halloween by Erin E. Adams. This one we just read in February last year, Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. And I think this one was like last January or March, The House in the Pines by Ana Reyes. I love this book. It's so good. So we don't need to read that one. Those are all set for book club. We have Shelby Mahurin's books here. So the Serpent and Dove series. I read Serpent and Dove and I read Blood and Honey, but I never made it to Gods and Monsters. But that was forever ago. I read them in preparation for when Gods and Monsters came out. And then I never got that far. So I'm thinking, if I have time, I'm always way too ambitious for my own good, but it would be really great to reread this series. And I believe her most recent release, which is why she's coming to the festival, The Scarlet Veil, is the same world, but like a spin-off, which is why I really want to reread the series, because I just feel like I really enjoyed it too. And as long as they are YA, and I don't remember them being too dense. So I think potentially I could easily reread those, but we'll see. I've also got 2 of Mona Awad's books here that are options. I have not read either of these yet. We've also got All's Well. So many options. I like having them on the little book cart here. It makes them seem more like fun and appealing to have them out. This author too, Ashley Elston, I realized once I finally finished cataloging my books, she doesn't just write thrillers. She wrote this book, 10 Blind Dates, which is like a YA romance set around Christmas time, I believe. So I didn't really want to read a Christmas book in January, but if I want to read more of her backlog, we've got an option. I also have the Atlas 6, and I have it on audiobook. So this one, I really want to do like the immersive read, because the first time I started it, I just didn't get into it. So I'd like to revisit that one. But Olivia Blake also has a pen name, or I guess this might be her real name, Alexine Farrell Falmouth. This is a YA romance. It's called My Chemical Romance, or My Chemical Romance pun. And so she's coming to the festival again. She came last year, which is where I bought this one. So I already got this one signed, but I didn't read it yet. So we've got options, so many options. I also do have hiding back there the Pretty Little Liars series. So if I want to try revisit that before the brunch, I know I was reading those back in the day when they came out. So we've got options there. And then I've got like 2 more thrillers on here that I haven't read. Both of course, these authors will also be at the festival. We've got the Taken Ones by Jess Laurie. It's labeled as a Steinbeck and Reed thriller. I haven't read any of the other ones, so like I hope it's fine, but I think it would be. I like the cover. I feel like it's nice and creepy. And then we have this one that is also a thriller. It's called Almost Surely Dead by Amina Akhtar. And this is one from Mindy Kaling's book studio. So I've got more books than I know what to do with, but at least we have like an urgent priority here so that I can kind of shop my own shelves and decide what to read. But if those were your options of what to read, what do you think you would start with? What's your current mood that you're feeling? All right, book club books on top. We've got the annotation book on top here. And we'll put this one down here. All right, so we're gonna tuck this into that back corner over there, like I said, so it'll be nice and easy to grab. All right, let's hope I don't knock down my blanket again. Let's be very careful. Okay. The only problem I have with that book cart is it does not wheel very well. All right. Ta-da. Perfect. And that is perfect timing. We've got 5 minutes until we start. So I'll bring you guys into the fort so you can see what it's like in here. Welcome to my humble blanket home. So this is the vibe once you're inside. Super cozy. It's not even too dark because it's still daylight, which is really nice. We've got our nice ladder and string lights over here. We've got the book cart. Like I said, I can easily reach it. I can flip it around. I'll probably keep it more sideways. We'll adjust it right now so that I can put my coffee and popcorn on the back here. And then if we need more space for other things to reach, I've got this little corner down there that I could put other things. So we've got a plan. It's nice and cozy. See what I mean? It's quieter in here too. I can't hear the construction as much from the other houses they're building in our neighborhood. So it's very peaceful and very calm in here, and I love it. I love it. Popcorn. Yes. I have like the Simple Pop. It came in the Reese's Book Club like book box thing I bought. So I've got that here, but I also have popcorn for later, just like a buttered one. And then when I went to Costco yesterday, I don't know what's with me and popcorn this week, but when I went to Costco yesterday, they had one of those giant boxes of like the Smart Pop, I think it's called, where they're all like different flavors. So there's like sweet and salty and all sorts of different things. So I bought all of those too. So I don't know. I'll probably just eat a lot of popcorn today. I bought a bunch of berries. I would have everything I need for avocado toast now. honestly, I could eat avocado toast every single day of my life, so that's probably going to have to happen. But I think that's kind of it. Like I said, later I'm going to work out, but let's go over one last time what the plan is. So we're starting the 24-hour readathon at 10 a.m., which is in 3 minutes. I'm starting reading. I'm going to read as many books as possible during this time frame until 10 a.m. tomorrow. And I'm going to keep track of pages read, books read. I'm going to try to keep track of like hours and minutes that I read. I will be including audiobooks during this time. I'm gonna, like work out and go for a walk. And I can't just like lay down all day. I start to feel gross. So we're gonna try to, stay motivated, and we'll listen to some audiobooks during that time. I did already start my audiobook, so don't worry, I'm not gonna count the pages before that. So that's the plan for reading. We're just gonna read as much as possible. And then later today at 6 p.m., I'm going to check in and do another live stream where we do reading sprints. So set your clock and your reminder, or set your notification on the video, because the video is already live. If you go onto my channel's page under live, it's there. And you can just click notifications on, and then you'll get that reminder once I go live. But that's 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So I will be reading then. But that's it. I think that's it. I don't have any live streams planned for tomorrow, but I might just pop on if I'm feeling it. For maybe the last hour would be fun. So starting at 9, we could do that. But I'm just excited to read a bunch. Like I said, I've never done a 24-hour readathon. So I'm also going to record behind the scenes and talk to you guys about that, so that next week you guys can watch the full episode of how it all turned out. All right, friends, I am going to log off until later because it is 10 o'clock and I need to get to reading, and I want to start the readathon with just like quiet and no distractions. And I will want to keep talking to you if I stay on live. But like I said, I'll see you guys at 6 p.m. Thanks for hanging out, and happy reading and happy readathoning. Bye, friends.